And here we are live once again. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk. I'm Mobile Geezer. In case you didn't know, you're on my channel. We do this every Friday evening at 8 p.m. in the Eastern U.S. And we talk to people worldwide and we talk about tech news from the last 7 days or so since last Friday. And I try to come up with some stories that I think are semi important and also some stories that you guys may or may not have heard somewhere else. So let's see. Brian was in here first, and a little while later we had Renz in here, and Renz is at work, and he's in the Philippines. He works every Saturday morning, and he's busy already. So it's always nice of him to stop by. He almost never misses us. Great that he's here. And here's Eleanor. She just dropped in. As always, she wishes everybody a great weekend. And she's getting ready to go to work tomorrow. So, in case you're new here, please type something in the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know how much you like the show. Please give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And as we do every Friday, you'll find the show notes on my website. Let me pull that up as I share screen. What am I doing wrong here? I want to present. I want to share screen. Okay, there we go. Screen looks different. I think I can show it okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you want to follow along in the show notes, just go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. Okay, let me see. Okay, mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. Click on today's date, and it'll pull up the show notes just for tonight's show. So, while we're here, I'll show you what we're going to go over tonight. Okay. So, the Nothing phone is finally coming to the U.S. Kind of. We'll get into that. And the Microsoft Surface Duo, they've had a dual screen. Up to now, I have the original one. I didn't get the second edition, but they pretty much look the same. All of a sudden, they're thinking about going to a true foldable screen. So we'll go over that story. And this is from a week or two ago. The rumor is the iPhone SE is canceled for this year. So we'll talk about that. And this is, I think, from the beginning of the month, but I never got to go over the story. The Pixel Fold, which we thought was going to be at first or second quarter this year, well, now it looks like it's going to be third or fourth quarter. So hopefully we'll still see a Pixel Fold sometime this year. Tim Cook has voluntarily took a pay cut, and I mean a big pay cut. So we'll talk about that. And finally, there's a rumor that MacBooks are going to be getting touchscreen, not immediately, in a couple of years, but I just thought it was an important enough story that we should talk about it a little bit. So those are all the stories we're going to go over tonight. Let me stop the screen for a minute. And as I told you last week, usually I'll show you what phones I have with me today. Now, of course, most of you know I do these broadcasts from Eleanor's house because the signal is so much better because it's not Comcast. And today I came straight from work, so the only phones I have with me are the two phones that I took with me to work today. And those of you know me know my phones are going by my watches, and I have three watches. I have my Apple Watch SE, I have my Pixel Watch, and I have my Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, which is what I wore today. The watches decide which phone I have with me at any given time. I always have two, but the main line is going to be in whichever watch I have, or for whichever watch is paired to that phone. So today, my main line was my Z Flip 4, and my secondary line was my Pixel 7. And since I came straight from work, those are the only two phones I had with me today. So even though we're going to talk about the Microsoft Surface Duo, I don't have it with me today. So just want you guys to know that. Also, Mike probably won't make it in. He said he's going to try. He's going to be late. My guess is, with me being by myself, we'll probably be through before he ever gets a chance to be here. That's my guess. So we'll see what happens. Don't know anything about whether Will or Ted will have a chance to join. They usually don't have a chance. So just wanted to let you guys know that. So let's go on to the first stories. Share screen again. Okay. And let's put it over here. All right, Nothing Phone 1. I said finally coming to the U.S. Kind of. And this is just my opinion. This is so Carl Pei. Remember, this is the guy who originally had the invitations back when, in the old days, when he was still with, I am losing it completely. You know who I mean. Anyway, this was on The Verge. So, why are we not, let's see. It's not updating on the screen. Let me try presenting again. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is on The Verge. Nothing Phone 1 comes to U.S. via $299 beta program. At launch, the phone was only sold in Europe and Asia, which we all well know. So let's go put this in reader view and get rid of some of these ads. And this is from a few days ago. Nothing has finally given people in the U.S. a way to purchase its debut smartphone, sort of. After its CEO teased a U.S. launch last month, the company has officially announced a new U.S.-focused beta program. So that's why I said this is so Carl Pei. Just can't sell it like a normal phone. Customers can pay nothing, $299, and in return receive the black version of the smartphone with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage to test. So we're going to give them $200 or $300 to test their phone. This makes no sense to me at all. At launch last year, the phone was only officially sold in European and Asian markets. This is far from a full U.S. launch here. You're not kidding. And not just because the devices are being distributed to test Nothing's beta Android 13 software. The company's website cautions that the phone, now get this, may not work with all U.S. carriers. So it sounds like you shouldn't expect to be able to rely on it for day-to-day usage. 5G is only supported on T-Mobile. Now, I have T-Mobile, but I don't think it's likely I'll be getting. I just don't like this whole idea. While AT&T and Verizon subscribers will only be able to access up to 4G connectivity, so no 5G for you guys. Nothing adds that coverage on Verizon will be very limited, and we all know Verizon is always the hardest one to get the deal because they have so much more to program into every kind of phone they release. That could eventually change, however, given Nothing CEO Carl Pei previously told CNBC that the company is in discussions with some carriers in the U.S. to potentially launch a future product there. He said the reason the company didn't initially launch the phone in the U.S. was because of the additional technical support needed to support the various networks, especially on Verizon. in the country, as well as the unique customizations, again, especially Verizon, that carriers need to make on top of Android. Yeah, Verizon is going to do more customizations than anybody else, always. It's definitely a market where there's already a lot of interest for our products, he said. And if we launch our smartphones there, I'm sure we could obtain significant growth. According to Nothing's website, the beta program will run until June 30th, although devices will not need to be returned after the beta period ends. So I guess you're buying a phone for $300. Device shipping is expected to take 5 to 7 days. And I don't know about you guys, but the OnePlus invitation program and this all leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. You know, they're not honest enough to say, well, we can't launch on all the carriers because we can't afford it and we can't make enough. But nobody's going to be honest to tell you that. And I'm sick to death of Carl Pei and his little games that he plays and these nonsense ideas that he comes up with to explain this stuff. And we all know the reasons. So thank you, Devon. I don't know why OnePlus wouldn't come out into my head the first time. Anyway, you know, you can have your invitations. You can have your beta program. If you're going to sell me the phone, sell me the phone. In other words, keep your nonsense. I'm sick to death of this kind of nonsense. That's just how I feel about it. And Brian says, it's nothing but excuses. We all know why you don't have the phone on Verizon and all the other carriers. So just, I don't know why they can't be honest enough to say that. Yeah, because I forgot OnePlus. Well, says it happens to all of us. Yeah, especially as you get close to my age. Getting pretty close to 78, folks. That's okay. I expect to be working and doing this another 30 or 40 years, considering the shape I keep myself in. So I'm hoping that will not change anytime soon. Okay. So some people, I'm sure, are going to be excited to try out the Nothing Phone 1. And I'm not saying it would be impossible for me to buy it. This whole thing just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But for $300, yeah, sure, I may try it too. But of course, we all know pretty much everything the phone will do because for over a year, we've seen all kinds of videos on it. So I don't see how you could not know what you're buying. So my feeling is right now, I won't be getting it. But we'll see what happens. So moving on to the next story. Let's try share screen again. The way screen is showing up is very different tonight. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's this. They have a different screen they're showing us when we go to share our screen. So I think maybe I figured it out. Let's see. All right. I said Microsoft Surface Duo changing screen form factor from dual, which is what this is, to foldable. And this is from Android Authority. So let's see if oh yeah, now it did open up properly. Okay, so they changed the way we present stuff, that's all, on StreamYard. So Microsoft pivots to foldable screens, dishes its initial Surface Duo 3 plans. Sources claim Microsoft is also working on a mainstream phone. So they're talking about changing this to a foldable screen and then coming out with a regular phone on top of that. So we'll see. And this is by Ryan McNeil, and this was from a couple of days ago, January 10th. So let's put this in reader view, get rid of some of these ads. Okay, there you go. Okay. Neither the Surface Duo nor Surface Duo 2 with its unique dual screen approach flew off of store shelves after they launched. That's true. Not many of us bought either one. Now Microsoft may be reconsidering its screen design philosophy for the third generation of the Surface Duo. I guess Samsung is having an effect, and Vivo and some others. According to Windows Central, sources who are familiar with Microsoft's plans claim the company is scrapping the dual screen design of the Surface Duo 3 in favor of a more traditional foldable screen. Now foldable screens are already traditional. Shows you what I know. The Surface Duo 3 may also feature an external cover display like the Vivo X Fold and a 180-degree hinge, which I guess would be good. More specifically, the report claims that the tech giant has already finalized the dual screen design of the Surface Duo 3, like the others. Added improvements like wireless charging and taller edge-to-edge screens. That's a lot of work to have done already. And scheduled the product to ship in late 2023. However, Microsoft apparently nixed the concept and is now exploring single-screen foldable designs. Windows Central sources didn't provide any information on the specs of the new device, as it's too early to tell anything. They also added that there's no concrete shipping window either, but Windows Central is the one who stays on top of this stuff. Given the change in form factor, it's possible that Microsoft could give the new handset a moniker that diverges from the Duo name. However, the sources claim the company internally still considers the device to be a third-generation Duo. Interesting. The new form factor wasn't the only news revealed by Windows Central sources. It appears the Redmond-based firm is working on a mainstream slab-style Surface phone and improving upon its software to deliver better Android offerings that differentiate it more from its competitors. Reportedly, Microsoft wants to create an ecosystem experience between its Android hardware and Windows PCs that's similar to Apple's iPhone and Mac experience. So we may get two new phones. This all comes only a few months after Microsoft added Android 12L to the Surface Duo and Duo 2, which contained the company's own fluent design language to make them better Windows companion devices. Oh, yeah, and on my Surface Duo, which I have the original, yeah, mine has Android Auto. Did I see any huge difference from before? Not on my original Surface Duo. That's just my take. What do you think of Microsoft switching to a more traditional foldable screen versus that Surface Duo product? What I think is that Samsung is too successful, and I think they want to start being somewhat successful too. That's my guess. So, to change it that radically at this point is kind of surprising. But there are also now enough foldable screens out there, enough companies with foldable screens that they could probably get it done by certainly by the end of the year is my guess. So, just interesting. Let's see. Get back over here. And let's see what we got in comments. Brian said, better to get the OnePlus 11 over the nothing trash. You know, from what I'm seeing when the OnePlus 10s, I'm probably agreeing with you, Brian. The Roland says, if Carl Pay honest, he might get more support in the U.S. Yeah, I'm thinking I don't know why he can't be honest when he knows we all know what the deal is with these phones. So I just think they should stop these games. But like he said, if going to be honest, but Brian said he ain't. So he gets nothing from us. Very good, Brian. That's my kind of humor. Okay. Brian did say Surface Duo folding screens would be nice. Yeah, so we'll see if that really comes about. But Windows Central usually knows what they're talking about, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised. And I skipped the Surface Duo 2, but if they switch to a folding screen, of course, that's going to get me thinking all over again, do I need to buy this phone? But boy, they're expensive because the first one cost me $1,500, which is the most I ever spent on a phone. So we'll see what happens. Down to the next story. iPhone. This was interesting. I didn't even know there was an iPhone SE4 for this year. Shows you what I know. iPhone SE4 canceled. This was on Tom's Guide. So let's go in there. Apple's iPhone SE4 canceled, analyst Kuo claims, and he usually knows what he's talking about. And it could be good news for Qualcomm. Let's go into review. Are we going to review? Trying to. There we go. Okay, and this is from Alan Martin, and this is from over a week ago, I guess. In December, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, who has a pretty solid track record, that's for sure, with his Apple prediction, said he expected the next generation iPhone SE4 to either be postponed or canceled. Now, in a Medium post, Kuo has confirmed that it's to be the latter after his supply chain sources confirmed that Apple had canceled production and shipment plans for the 2024 handset. If true, then from a hard-nosed business perspective, it's easy to see why Apple has made the decision. Like the iPhone mini, the diminutive 2022 iPhone SE is reportedly struggling to sell in significant quantities. On top of that, the 2024 version was expected to require a lot more work. Apple was apparently planning to move away from the thick bezels and home button that have been a mainstay of the SE since its arrival 6 years ago for a more modern design based on 2018's iPhone XR, which I loved that phone when I had it. Such developments not only cost Apple in terms of R&D, but would have required consumers to spend more for the end product. With no confidence that they would do so, especially in a cost of living crisis, it's perhaps no surprise that Apple would shelve the phone instead of throwing good money after bad. Yeah, it's a very iffy thing at this point with the economy the way it is. Though it may end up proving short-sighted if the same consumers are suddenly looking for cheaper smartphones in 2024. So yeah, it's a crapshoot at this point. In short, it's bad news for consumer choice, especially if you're firmly embedded into iOS and on a budget. But there's one big beneficiary from the move, according to Kuo. Good news for Qualcomm. The winner is Qualcomm. Despite the bitter legal battles between Apple and the chip maker, Qualcomm still makes the 5G chips found in the iPhone 14. That's clearly not ideal for Apple, and the company is looking to change courses in the long run. So they're looking to go to their own chip. To that end, Apple was apparently intent on making the now canceled iPhone SE4 a less risky testbed for its own 5G chip. After all, weaker 5G performance is excusable in an entry-level phone. But if the iPhone 16 had worse connectivity than the iPhone 15, questions would be rightly asked. So they don't want to use the iPhone 16 to test their own chip. Due to concerns that the performance of the in-house baseband chip may not be up to par with Qualcomm's, Apple initially planned to launch its baseband chip in 2024 and let the low-end iPhone SE4 adopt it first and decide whether to let the iPhone 16 use its baseband chip depending on the development status of the iPhone SE4, Kuo writes. That would make perfect sense. What the iPhone SE4 apparently abandoned, Kuo believes the chances of Apple sticking with Qualcomm for the iPhone 16 have significantly increased. Yeah, Qualcomm's going to benefit big time. Qualcomm's recent financial forecast had already suggested it would continue to supply 5G chips for the iPhone 15. Without an SE-shaped testbed for the Apple to test its own solution, Qualcomm may well find the iPhone maker a reluctant yet reliable customer for years to come. So, if Kuo says that the SE4 is canceled, I gotta believe it's canceled. And of course, that wouldn't have been until next year anyway. But anyway, I didn't even know it was coming, so I was kind of surprised when I first saw this. So that's that. Let's stop screen for a minute. Let's see what we see here. Yeah, Brian says just wait for fire sales. Yeah, if there are fire sales with the With a nothing phone, yeah, I would probably jump all over it. I mean, if I could get that phone for, say, $200, yeah, I'd probably take it right away. And we're talking about iPhone again. The current SE already uses the A15 Bionic, yeah, along with the regular 14. Makes so sense to do another SE this year. Yeah, this would have been for next year, but I gather they don't want to start producing or even spending the money to have this thing begin to be manufactured and then just to kill it. So I guess that they just decided to kill it now. The Mullen says the problem was not the iPhone SE. The problem what got Apple was using last year's chip. So people who had last year's iPhone see no reason to upgrade. And that's probably true of a lot of people. Brian was making that point with me last week. So, I guess we're not going to be seeing that next year at all. So, back to sharing screen, and let's go back. Okay, now I know how to present this new stuff. Okay. All right, our next story. Pixel Fold pushed back to quarter 3 or quarter 4. This is from Android Authority. And this was also from last week. Google's Pixel Fold, week and a half, I guess. But I didn't get a chance to get the story up until now. So Google's Pixel Fold production plans hint at a quarter 4 launch. This differs from our previous info, which pointed to an April-May launch window. So yeah, big difference. Let's get over to Readview. We've heard rumors regarding the Google Pixel Fold for a couple of years now. Yes, we have. But we got our first renders from a trusted source last month. Yes, and they were kind of nice. Yeah, the renders we've seen so far were kind of cool looking. Although this is so squatted, it almost looks like a Microsoft Surface over here. Interesting. Now, a Korean outlet has dished out more details regarding the upcoming foldable phone. The Elec reports that Google plans to mass produce the Pixel Fold and associated parts from the third quarter of this year. In other words, it sounds like the foldable definitely won't be launched in the first half of the year. So does this mean we could see a quarter 4 release instead? By comparison, Samsung reportedly started mass production of Z Flip 4 and Z Fold 4 parts in May 2022, with production of finished phones apparently set for roughly a month later. These phones then debuted August 2022. Now, yeah, Samsung did it from May, and then they came out in August. But Samsung has been making foldable phones for a few years now. This is a first for Google, so I don't think you can compare timelines. That's just my guess. Less impressive screen incoming. The news outlet also confirmed a few more screen details regarding the upcoming foldable. More specifically, it said we should expect a 7.57-inch foldable screen with an ultra thin glass and 5.7-inch, 7.8-inch smartphone screen. These sizes differ slightly from previous leaks. In saying so, the Elec suggests that the Pixel Fold might have a less impressive screen than the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and Z Fold 4, citing Google's 2022 foldable phone project. The outlet suggests that Google could skip foldable screen tech that debuted on the Galaxy Z Fold 3, which allowed for a thinner foldable screen. It also suggested that stylus support is unlikely for the Pixel Fold. So I guess they're just trying to go a little cheaper. Be interesting to see how much they charge for this thing. Either way, it seems like you shouldn't hold your breath for a Google Foldable to launch in the first half of the year. This clashes with our exclusive Pixel release roadmap, which I guess that was wrong, which points to an April or May 2023 launch date. But it's also possible we might get a tease or a brief look at the device in April, May, as Google did with the Pixel 7 and Pixel tablet in May of 2022. Yeah, and I think that's very possible. And I thought that was pretty cool that they showed us that early. So maybe they'll do that. So anyway, don't look for anything before near the end of the year, or at least the end of the third quarter. So that's going to be that. And let's check our comments for a minute. Yo, Will's in here. Will, you ought to jump in here, brother. Although I'm halfway through the show already. Glad to have you, as always, sir. What up, Will? Brian says, Pixel Fold Beta, no thank you. We've all had some issues with the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 7. So especially Brian has, at least with the Pro. So I can certainly understand the reluctance. And I might agree with you. Devon says, hey, Will. Even Mike told me not to buy Pixels anymore. I can see why. Damone says the software is what makes Pixels. Yes, but if we don't have the annoying screen and fingerprint sensor problems, boy, they were annoying between the fingerprint problems last year, and now with people with the Pixel 7 Pro having overheating issues. Thank God people like Mike and I with the 7 don't seem to be having that. I can understand the reluctance with everybody. But Brian says, yeah, but the hardware still has to be decent. Yeah, it's got to be a little bit better than what they've come up with the last 2 iterations. That's my guess. Yeah, Brian says, Mike gets sad when I bash the hell out of them. Well, we all admire Pixels. We all know that. But, if Google's going to give us problems with Pixels, then we got to say something about it. So, okay. All right, Will, if you want to jump in, just jump in, and I'll try to catch you as soon as you do. At least I should get a sound if you do jump in. Anyway, certainly everybody will be glad to see you if you do. All right, back to the screen. Okay, let's go down to the next one. And this was a good one. Who had this? Unbox Therapy had, Lou Later was talking about this also today after I put mine out last night. He had this same article that I have from The Verge. And I just said, Tim Cook's voluntary pay cut. This is a big amount of money we're talking about. Of course, it is Tim Cook, so he can afford it. Tim Cook takes a $35 million pay cut that he recommended. Well, he kind of did, but he certainly went along with it. The Apple CEO's target compensation will be lowered by more than 40% in 2023, according to the company's latest proxy filing. Oh, and I should let you guys know, since I put this out last night on my website, I've seen a couple of videos that are suggesting that Tim Cook is very close to retiring. Don't know if they're talking this year or what, but maybe this is all part of that. So anyway, the rumors are out there that he's close to retiring. So I just thought you guys should know that. So let's go to read a view. Okay. And some of the videos that I've seen of some people who are very, very knowledgeable in the business world and in the mobile world. So these are people who I would think has done their homework on this stuff. So maybe he is retiring. I don't know. Anyway, Apple CEO Tim Cook is taking a big pay cut at his own recommendation. Cook's target compensation will be decreasing by $35 million, according to a new regulatory filing, dropping from $84 million in 2022 to $49 million in 2023. That's a drop of more than 40%. The changes come entirely from an adjustment in his equity award value, which makes up the bulk of Cook's total compensation. So it sounds like this is all tied to incentive awards. That's what I think. In 2022, that value was estimated to be worth $75 million. But this year, that estimate drops to $40 million. His base salary of $3 million and his annual cash incentive of $6 million will remain the same. So his normal pay is $9 million, and then everything else is above that. But you see what he actually did get last year. Bloomberg reported the pay cut earlier on Thursday. To set Cook's new pay, the compensation committee on Apple's board balanced shareholder feedback, Apple's exceptional performance, and the recommendation from Mr. Cook to adjust his compensation. So he did go along with this very nicely in light of the feedback received. In reality, his 2023 compensation could differ. Cook actually made $99.4 million last year, according to the filing. While Apple continues to be quite successful, its market cap has dropped $1 trillion from its peak a year ago. Yeah, everybody's taking a hit, that's for sure. And the company has been facing some production challenges with its cash cow, the iPhone. Shit, it's hard to get everything out. There's also some worry about the company's future big bets. The long-rumored mixed reality headset still hasn't been officially announced. Yeah, that's become like the Google Fold. Now we're hearing about this headset year after year. And though that may finally happen this spring. The Project Titan car project, which we've been hearing about for many years now, still years away. And according to a December Bloomberg report, it will now be arriving a year later than originally planned. And who knows when that was. And Apple is facing the same economic challenges affecting other big tech firms, that's for sure, which have resulted in massive layoffs like Meta and Amazon. And Mike's video from today's car vlog was talking about T-Mobile's layoffs and saying, well, they promised they wouldn't do that when they did their merge. I think T-Mobile's doing the same as Meta, Amazon, and everybody else. We're in an economy that nobody expected to be this bad. Wait a minute. I think we've got Ted in here. Let's see. Stop screen. Ted, are you there? Well, we've got something from Ted there, but I don't even know if he can hear me as yet. So there he is. Oh, with food in his hand, as always. Okay, he can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Hey, what's up?
There you are. Now we can hear you. Now we can see you and hear you. We can watch you eat. Okay. So let me get over to I'm sure everybody's going to say hello in a minute. Let me get back to the comments.
Let me get my tablet.
Okay. Brian said, I'm still a Pixel fan, but I can't blindly buy it anymore. And yeah, you've had some issues, Brian. I understand that. So Tim Cook now makes $60 million. Yeah. And wait a minute. We've got Will in here too. All right. Will, are you there?
What's going on, George? What's up, Ted?
Glad you're here. You got you and Ted coming in at the same time. I like that.
Oh,
Hey, Will, what's up?
what's going on, man?
You sound tired, Will.
Yeah, I just came in from work.
Okay. So let's see. Brian says, so Tim Cook makes $60 million now.
So my uncle is taking a pay cut.
Yeah. And then Demolan says Tim Cook or Tim Crook. No, I think Tim earns his money. That's just my opinion. Brian says he's not a crook. He just takes advantage of the ecosystem. Yeah, but I think he certainly puts. I have no problem with how much money he makes. That's just my opinion. What up, Ted? Will has said his Uncle Tim is poor. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call him poor
now, right?
Yeah. He's struggling along.
I think I saw him on the line waiting for
exactly.
Waiting for the free handouts.
Yeah, go on the bread line, I'm sure.
Yeah, I see him.
Anyway, I think it's commendable that he went along with the pay cut and said, okay, that's fine. I think that's good. But I had no
Sure, he
problem.
doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't need any more.
Yeah, exactly. I have no problem with the money he makes because I think he worked his tail off to get where he is, and I think he probably works his tail off. Did you hear what I said about me seeing a couple of videos about him retiring? Will?
Yeah, but didn't he? If I remember right, I don't remember if it was MKBHD. Somebody interviewed him, and didn't they ask him like, "Are
I
you
don't
about to
remember.
retire?" And he was like, basically said no, like he doesn't know what he would do without.
How long ago was this? Would this
It
have
wasn't
been?
that long ago.
Okay,
It was
yeah,
2
I
years
missed
ago.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
was
But
it
they
2 years ago?
always ask him that question.
Okay, so it was that long ago, huh? So maybe he is thinking about it.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
And who's the other guy that's always presents on stage when they have an event?
Oh, Craig Federici.
Yes, because one of the guys suggested is that he might be the next one
Ariel,
up for
don't lock the
CEO.
door.
So,
Yeah. Oh, him. Yeah, he's cool. I like him.
That's
yeah,
conjecture.
I could see that because we've seen him around for years, so that would make sense to me.
Well, he's got the hair.
Say that again?
What?
The hair. Everybody likes.
Oh yeah,
his
yeah,
hair.
he certainly has the hair, that's for sure. Man's got
Yeah.
pretty hair. Got to give it to him.
Yeah.
Ted, you shut up like me.
George is crazy. George is crazy.
Ted, are you like me? Do you have a full head of hair? You just like it shaved better?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I started shaving my head back in '97, but I've never, had any kind of baldness. I just like it this way. And I think, some of it's worked psychologically. Being in biker clubs a lot, I think I like the look, especially when I'm in the motorcycle thing. I just think it fits. So that's why I have it. Wait, we can't hear you all of a sudden. We lost your sound. Try it
What
again.
happened?
I lost. Ted was saying something. He couldn't hear a word. Try it again, Ted.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, Ted is on. Let me ask Ted about the Pixel. He bought the Pixel, right?
Ted, are you hearing us? And Ted froze on us. I think Ted froze on us. Yeah, he definitely froze on us. All right, hopefully. Okay. He just popped out. Hopefully he'll pop back in. That's right. I forgot all about he had the Pixel. But he had the Pixel 7 like me and Mike, didn't he? Oh, don't tell me we lost Will's sound too? Okay. All right. Ted, you're back. Why did we lose your sound? And now I've lost Will's. It seems like I've lost Will's sound all of a sudden.
No, I'm still here, George.
Oh, okay. So Ted, Will, I've forgotten. Will said you got the Pixel 7, didn't you?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
How is it, Ted?
Ooh. Look,
It's
how
been a
can it
while,
not
right?
be-
Wait, this is your first Pixel, right?
that I use as a daily driver. Yeah,
Okay.
How is it?
it's great, perfect. The only thing, my only two complaints is that battery life isn't anything spectacular, especially compared to the V60. And
Well, you shouldn't compare it to the V60.
Compared to the V60,
Yeah, Mike is in the
LG.
comments,
I think
by the way.
I think I had that phone. That battery life on the LG for me was awful. Did I have
Was
the
it?
V60?
On
No,
the
I had the
V60?
G. Wait, no, I didn't have the V60. I had the G7 and something else. I forget.
I had
I
the
tried a
G6,
couple of the
G7,
LG.
and
I think I
I
had the
had the
G7 and the
V30. I always
G6.
wanted to get the V6. I never got around to it though.
That was my problem with the LG. Besides the software, I hated the battery.
Okay.
and what else? Oh, one big problem I'm having is calls are dropping.
Really?
Like if I have a call like 20 minutes, like it's been
Uh-huh.
happening these past 2 weeks. If I have a call that's around 20 minutes, like it'll drop. Like probably
Oh, wait a
one.
minute. I wouldn't expect anybody your age to have a 20-minute call in the rest of their life. That's,
So wait
Hey.
a minute.
that
What
shocked me.
carrier? What carrier are you on, Ted?
Visible.
Oh, well, it's visible.
See,
Listen,
this
Visible-
is why
I
I
rode-
stick
I
with
rode with
T-Mobile
Visible.
and why
I
I
rode
never
with
use
Visible
any of
for a
those
couple
carriers.
years, and then I was just like, nah, I can't.
But no, it's never. I would say Visible has never dropped calls before. So it's. But it's the problem started 2 weeks ago on the Pixel. So yeah, who knows? Maybe Visible is doing something on
I
the
think
back end.
yeah, they might be doing something with their network.
But see, I'll always listen
That's
to
why I
Will
left
about
it.
Visible because
Visible
Will was the very
Visible
first
was
person
great,
I ever
but they
heard on
started
Visible.
they started having issues, but they did me good for a while because they were so cheap. Now they raised the price, and yeah,
See, Mike says you are the death for batteries, so he expects you to have battery issues.
listen, that LG, I love the build of the B7, and I got it. I think I swore it was like $350, and it was in mint condition, but the software and the battery died so fast. Dang, I did like
And
that.
Brian
That phone was
says
the
that
perfect size.
eSIM activation is terrible. Okay, yeah, the only eSIM I've used is on my iPhone, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Brian activated, I think, on the iPhone, and it was terrible. He had a terrible time.
Oh, see, mine has been smooth as silk. I haven't had 1 ounce of trouble since I started using it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on, for these CEOs, Tim Cook,
Right.
wouldn't they get like, I would say almost like their salary from the company is almost nominal? They usually get paid.
His salary last year was combined was $9 million. Everything else, I guess, was tied to incentives. But he ended up making $99 million, so the incentive was okay.
Because they're like, it's also common for them to like also get paid in stock options. So like,
Yes,
and that's not taxed.
Yeah, last year he got $3 million in regular salary and $6 million in stock options. And I guess the vast majority of the tech people in the business get most of their money in stock options.
And they don't have to pay, taxes on the stocks.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah, unless they sell them. Unless they.
Now, is that a California thing?
No, that's America thing.
Everybody.
Oh, okay.
That's an American thing. If you're paid in stock options, they don't get taxed.
Yeah,
and you don't really have
with all my programming in all the years, and especially 15 years of being a contractor, I never got stock options. So.
Especially as a contractor, why would they give a contractor stock options?
Well, they have given other contractors stock options if they would take it over regular pay. Now, the hard part would be getting the contractor to take the stock options, but I'm sure there are some that would. As contractors, I always said we will.
If your company's worth a lot,
you just tell us where the money is. We'll get there. That's how we all were.
But what was it? It reminds me of this guy. I don't know if you heard about the guy. He has this payment system company where he capped as CEO, his salary at $70,000 a year.
No.
Yeah, he made a big noise about it too. But like, it's just so. Actually, he capped his salary at $70,000 a year so that he could bring all the employees in his company at a minimum of $70,000 a year.
And did it work? and is he still in business?
Yeah, business is doing good. Why are you laughing, Will?
Because that was a good reason. Like he's like, look, you're not making no more than me.
Yeah. So Will has a point. So if Tim had done that so that they didn't have to let go of employees, I would be impressed.
Yeah, that would be impressive. Brian is saying, jump in, Mike. Brian wants you in there.
Yeah, Mike, jump in.
Brian's saying the stock options. Yeah, I think the stock option is a very standard thing, especially for all the California companies.
Jump in, Mike. Your birthday weekend.
Mike is saying not
Tim,
tonight. Okay.
Tim, how do you Tim? Jesus, I'm calling you Tim.
No, Tim is your uncle, not Ted's
uncle.
Yeah,
we have the image good like this. Yeah, it's natural. I get it all the time.
Ted, what do you think about the camera on the Pixel? I know you're a photography guy.
Photography wise, I think it's amazing.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good to hear you say that.
Videos, it kind of gets in my way a bit, but
the videos are certainly better than they used to be. I mean, better than they've been in the past.
I don't know. This is my first Pixel daily driver.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, video on the Pixel used to be really, really good.
Yeah.
There are some weird like settings. Like it's the fact that I have to go. Like if I wanted to change, video stabilization, I have to go into the settings instead of being able to do it on screen. That's
Ooh,
that's
that
where
sounds like what they used to complain about with the iPhone. You gotta go all the
Yeah,
way
true.
into
That
the
is what
camera
they used to
options
complain
and blah,
about
blah,
with the
blah,
iPhone.
blah.
One thing I'm loving about the Pixel 7 is I can just while I'm recording, I can just flip it from 1080p to 4K without stopping it. You know,
Ooh, look at that. The G7 is $63 or $69 on Floppa.
that's pretty good because the G7 was a
Yeah.
good phone.
all right. So yeah, here. So double face. But can I find it? So yeah. So like here, like that's the button to bring up my set my stabilization options.
Right.
But if I wanted to turn it off so it didn't crop in, I would
Mhm.
have to go into the settings right here to turn it
Yeah,
off.
I can see
When
that.
there's
Yes.
a button dedicated to it right there. So like I don't know why they didn't just put that in the options of to just turn it off so it doesn't
Yeah,
crop in.
that would make sense. That was and see
Because
now
Google
you're
didn't feel
talking
like
like the
it.
professional photographer that you are, so that makes sense.
Like it just
Google
feels like
didn't feel like it, Ted. Okay.
it was just like a common sense thing to just do it, like put it right there.
Here,
And
Brian is saying the noise in the night sky is awful with brighter exposure with holiday lights. Okay, I didn't even use it much during Christmas, so
this is another weird thing they did.
okay.
The timer. Let me. So there's this
Yeah, the
feature.
timer sometimes it's just on by default, right?
No, it's this. It's hold on. I gotta. I think I have to.
When I do a selfie, the timer seems like it's on by default. And
So
I
like
don't
they have
wonder.
this feature called an auto timer,
Right.
and it's where the phone decides when it's time to take a photo. But the
Really?
thing is, but the thing is though, is like I don't know what the phone is using as a metric to decide, okay, it's time to take a photo. It's like there's a bar right here. Like when the bar gets full,
Right.
then it'll take the photo.
It's probably looking for your face.
So you're going to have to do some research to find that out, obviously.
Yeah, it's so confusing. Like, but
I
like
didn't
if
even
you
know we did that.
But like here, so it's like this. Like if you're just doing a selfie, so if you're like just doing a selfie,
Right.
first of all, the auto timer feature only works if you're in selfie mode. But
Right.
if you're just doing a
because
selfie,
I bet you it's looking for it's probably looking for your face.
But,
so like
but I have flipped mine around a number of times just trying to take a selfie, forgetting that the stupid thing was going to be on a 2-second timer. I hate that.
But like if you have it on auto timer,
you guys are really selling this Pixel. Let me tell you.
If it's just your face in the viewfinder, it'll always take pictures easily. But the moment you start like putting more faces in it, then it's just like you don't really know when it's actually going to take the pictures. Like it starts acting more random, even though everyone is smiling or whatnot.
I haven't tried it with multiple people. I do it with myself a lot, and I do it on my bicycle rides most of the time. So,
but I will say like one of my favorite features though is on the camera is this slider right here that controls the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
They've had that for a couple Pixels now. That one is nice.
Yeah, that
one
is a few times.
Yeah, that one is I love that slider. Like no one else does it. It gives you that option to control like the strength of your shadows.
Right.
George, now about you were the only one in the group that bought the Pixel Watch.
Right. Yeah, I wore it yesterday.
What do you think? Is it still? Did they have added anything to it? Have they updated it or anything?
I think it's the classiest looking of my 3 watches, of the Apple Watch or the 4 Classic, but it's smaller. Of course, I've gotten used to it, but yeah, it's fine. But for my purposes, for my workouts, I still prefer my Classic 4 and my Apple Watch over the Pixel. The Pixel does okay, and it puts it into Fitbit, but I think the Classic 4 does it better. And I think the Apple Watch does it better. I think the Classic 4 is the best one for me for working out. And the Apple Watch is right behind it.
Yeah.
But the Pixel's not even in the same league with them as far as workouts.
I just think the Pixel Watch looks nice.
Yeah, it is. It's the classiest looking of all of them, I think.
Speaking of look nice, let me share my screen. I got something to share with you guys. Took a picture of this guy with his family last Sunday. Where is it? I gotta share.
This is when you were working.
No, not when it was
No.
working. I was
No,
just doing pictures of the streets. Am I
No, I
showing you my
thought-
screen?
Yeah,
No, I
I'm
don't
waiting for it to show up. I'll share it as soon as I see it.
Oh, I have to allow something.
Yeah, these days you have to click present and then you can share. You see
Ooh.
present on? Oh, there it is. I got it. Okay.
Oop, there you go.
Yeah, you're showing the. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Can
Yeah. Look,
Well,
you
can-
see that? That's why I
you
took the
type-
picture.
Oh, that's nice, Ted. I like that. That's
Yeah,
a
look
very nice shot. The dog came out beautiful. Can you go in a little closer? Any closer?
Can I? Let's see.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right there. Oh, look at the. No, back up to the right there. Oh, I think that's a beautiful shot. I'm looking at the dog's hair mainly.
Oh, the
And
dogs.
I'm looking at the hair on the beard. That thing did a great. That's on the Pixel. Or that's
Yeah,
what you're
sure.
on- Or that's what you're
No,
on
that
camera.
was on a professional camera.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
that's what I was worrying. That's what I was wondering. You know,
But no, I was showing you the guy's watch. Like,
I
It was,
was so stunned by the pictures. I wasn't even paying attention to it. Do it again.
the watch. Okay.
Okay, yeah. This time I'll watch. Oh,
I'll give you points for that one.
okay.
Wow, it really does ask me every single time. Wow.
What is it asking you?
If I'm sure I want to share.
Okay.
Wants to be sure.
Yeah, tighten up
watch
on the,
share.
okay. What kind of watch is that? Do you know?
Yeah, I forgot the. Oops, I forgot the. Forgot that. It's hard to pronounce the name. A familiar.
Is it it's not a smart watch, I gather.
No, it's a.
It's a regular watch. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Let me stop the screen.
Mike
on, I
liked it too.
Hold on, let me see. We were talking about it on Juan's Discord.
Okay.
It's called the Royal. Oh my God, that name, Ademir Spigot.
Can you
Listen.
type it out or something?
Oh, sure, that's a good idea.
Okay.
It's a Ademir. May not be French.
Oh, I sound like he's going to say whoop whoop.
Oh, an Audemars. Those are expensive. That's what you're talking about?
Yep,
An Audemars.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're like 50,000, 40. Yeah, they're expensive.
yep.
Never
Yeah,
heard
they're
of it.
really expensive.
You could, with the cost of that watch, he could buy a
You can buy a
Tesla.
car.
Well,
He could buy a
a
Tesla.
car or- You can buy a car and tell the time.
He could buy a Lexus.
Yeah.
He could put down a nice pre-order
Put
for a
your-
Lexus
Yeah,
E
you
model,
can get a cheap Lexus, yeah.
even though
Pay for
Lexus
your
doesn't
kids'
have a.
school. Yeah. Put some money in your 401k or you can tell the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a new one on me.
That's the classy I like, not classy from a Pixel Watch or
See,
Apple Watch
this
Ultra.
is where I'm different. I'm nowhere near as into money as most people, and I have very little to no respect for money. So because things cost more, it doesn't do a thing for me. I'm just not that kind of person. Never have
It's
been.
not
that
because
kind of
it
person.
costs more. It's because it looks nice. Look how loud. You could tell.
There are things that look nice that don't cost more, but people are always, especially in the Western world, are always impressed because it costs more. That doesn't do a thing for me.
This is how
That's
you
just
do a
not my-
pun, George.
When
When
one
you know,
of my
when
close
you
friends
know-
who used to do my taxes every year used to tell me, "You have no respect for money," and I said, "No, I'm never going to have any respect for money. Why? Because it's too easy to get." Well, why do you say it's so easy? Because all I have to do is go to work and somebody gives me some money. That's pretty easy to me. So I've never had any respect for money. Never will have any respect for money. That's how I feel.
Georges.
what I was saying was when your time looks timeless, that's when you
Ooh.
know it's nice. Yeah, that's how
a
you
good
do it.
line.
That's how
a
you do
great
it.
line. That's a great line. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
what I would say too if my watch cost
When
50,000.
your time looks, I like that. That's a great line.
But the Pixel Watch does look pretty, though. I will give him that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's classy looking.
Yeah,
It don't
look at
look
what
like
my
that.
do you know what the money, power, respect is the key to life?
I don't understand what he means by that.
Because it's what is it, 30 years now? No, not 30. What year is this? 90. It's like 20 something years.
What is?
Nothing. Nothing, George. Nothing.
You're just
It's just the
confusing
line.
me.
No. The line he gave, there's an album. It's like this must be I don't know if this is the 30th year. I think it was today or yesterday since it came out. It's a hip hop
Okay,
album.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was one of the singles from the thing. Anyway.
The Locks, circa 1997.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What else do I got to find out about the Pixel?
Wait a minute. Do I get bagels with those locks? I'm sorry.
Ew.
I couldn't resist that.
I don't know how people eat that.
Yeah,
Lox?
I ate lox.
Yeah, my friend
twice
eats
in
it.
my
Ew.
life. I hated it both times.
It's smoked salmon with cream cheese, right?
Yeah, Eleanor likes
Yeah, it
lox.
doesn't even sound good.
Smoked salmon. Yeah, true. It doesn't sound good, but it tastes great.
No, it doesn't.
It's
Cream
like
cheese.
caviar. The cheap
Ew.
caviar or the expensive caviar. I hate them both.
Put
Ew.
some lox on a garlic toasted bagel. Mm-mm-mm.
Well, for one thing, lox is very salty. That's one thing I don't like about it.
Because it's smoked salmon. Yeah.
Yeah. Not for me. And plus the fact I generally don't like salmon in general anyway, so it makes sense that I wouldn't like lox.
Yeah. Good point.
George, which Pixel do you have? Do you have the?
I have
Pro?
the Pixel 7 and I have the Pixel 6 Pro.
Oh, okay. You have the 7.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask how your battery was in comparison to.
Yeah, the
Ted's.
battery's fine on the 7 as far as I can tell. But of course,
Ted
I
said
never
his
had
battery
battery
sucks.
issues like most people. So.
Ted said his battery sucks.
Yeah, he did.
As power, yeah, this thing could not last a whole day under my hand. Like it needs to be on the charger at least twice a day.
Twice.
What?
Jeez,
Really?
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
one
a
in the
whole lot.
afternoon. Yeah, one in the afternoon, one at night.
Now, what time are you starting with it? In the morning.
7 a.m.
And you have to get it on a charger by what time?
Actually, no, around 6:30 a.m.
Okay.
And then I have to
Okay.
get it. I have to get it on a charger around 12 or 2 p.m.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
you must be a power user, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I'm a power user, but still, it's not impressive battery life.
No,
The
I can see where you would say that,
The Axon 7 performed better than this.
Well, the Axon 7 performed better than a lot of phones that came after it. That's true.
Yeah, but
But-
the Axon 7 was 60 hertz, right?
Yeah.
Yes. There
this was
there was nothing else but 60 hertz in those days, right?
Yeah.
See, so
But it also
I think
has had a
the
high
screen
resolution
size.
screen.
Yeah, Brian says the charge is slow. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the Axon 7 charged faster too, right? With Quick Charge 3.
Well, I find with my fast charging cables that I use on, say, my on my Samsung phone and charges it fast, does not charge the Google phone fast. But I can switch to a different cable and the Google phone will charge faster. So I haven't figured what that's about yet.
Google hasn't figured it out either.
Yeah, obviously.
This is what? How many pixels have they had? They've all charged
Gary
the
says
same
take the
speed.
7 off the charger at 7:30, and by the time I get home, it's 70% for me. What is Ted doing on his phone? Porn?
Hold on, whoa. So he takes the phone off at 7:30 a.m. and by the time
Right.
you don't use your phone, Gary. That's all you're telling me.
Yeah, he doesn't tell us what time he gets home, but wow.
And also, he probably charges the phone inside the car too. Yeah, like you think you're slick, Gary.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. But yeah, 70%, that's a lot to get home with,
Yeah, you definitely charge it in the car ride. Who are you
No, he
fooling?
says he gets home at 6. And you're not charging the phone at all, Gary, during the day? That's a heck of a
He's
lot of
charging the
percentage.
phone in the car
I'm thinking he's got to be.
as he's driving.
Yeah. And I do that almost automatically sometimes. So of course I never have issues with any phone really.
But
Hey,
yes,
Big House, we got Big House in here. Good
Hey,
evening,
what's up,
brother.
Big
Glad
House?
to have you here.
Once in a while, you
He says
charge
he
your phone in
charges
the
it in the
car.
car once in a while. So I gather he doesn't do it regularly, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. They need to go back to the lower screen phones because that's ridiculous. A 5,000 milliamp phone,
Yeah,
the battery
that is
shouldn't be dead
ridiculous.
that fast. The
Yeah, I
battery
This
don't
is
know
a,
what.
this is a
I don't know
5,000
how you
milliamp.
can be going through
That's what.
battery that
Oh
fast.
well,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
that one. The
I
Pro
think it's
is,
like
but I'm sure
it's
that
4,003.
I'm
It's
sure
4,300. It's not
yeah,
5,000.
I'm sure the Pro isn't that much better with battery. Though.
I don't know. I've heard no one complain about the 7 Pro's battery life. I wish someone.
Yeah, but I've heard nobody complain about the. I've heard nobody complain about the regular one either until you come
No one's
on.
complained about the. Oh wow. Am I the only one?
I
Am I the only-
haven't. I haven't because
No,
real life.
I've seen people complain about it, but not many. You know, I
I've
don't
heard
know
People are,
everybody
anybody
say.
who goes through it the way Ted does, though.
you know
Everybody
who
just says
does
it's average.
people have been did you do the story, George, about people's back glass just spontaneously breaking?
No, no.
Everybody
Those
just says it's average, which to me,
Battery on the 7 is 4355.
that's worse than average.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know.
it's not average. It's just below average.
But I don't understand what is the phone doing that's killing the battery. It doesn't have.
I'm trying to figure out what Ted is doing that's killing it to that degree. You know.
I mean, maybe
Is
it's the
Mike
90.
still in there? How's Mike's battery?
Yeah,
It could be the 90 hertz.
The Pro is 5,000. Okay. Yeah, I think Mike said his battery life was just okay. You know, I don't think he said it was great. Gary said battery life is not a big deal for me. Have a charger in the car and at home and at work desk. Yeah, same with me. Well, I don't have a desk at work because I drive for a living. But yeah, I plug in my screens in my car my batteries in my car almost automatically.
It's kind of a big deal for me.
Brian says Google doesn't ramp down the LTPO screen below 60. And most of them do nowadays, I think.
Because Google probably saved money buying a cheaper screen or something.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Because it sounds like that's what they're getting ready to do with the Fold. You know. You get 15
Are you
hours
getting
off
one,
the charge
George?
and a 5 SOT. That's pretty good. What'd you say?
You gonna get the Fold?
Are you getting the Fold?
I'm going to
Yeah, he's
Brian
getting it.
said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see because we've had too many issues with the 6s and the 7s. You know, at least too many people have had too many issues. Let's put it that way. So I'm
What
going to
happened
wait
with
and see.
Microsoft? No more Duos? No more Surface?
No, they're talking about switching it from dual screens to a folding screen. And
They're gonna really try
apparently
again.
they had everything all set to come out the end of the year with another dual screen 3, and now they've decided they're going away from that and going to go to a complete folding screen, and
They're
still
gonna
going to
try
try to do it
again.
by the end of the year.
I'm surprised they're trying again. I didn't think that last one sold too well.
Yeah, I think they looked at Samsung and said Samsung is pretty successful with this thing. Maybe we need to switch, and they're probably right because nobody bought it much. I bought the first one. I did not buy the second one. You know.
That first one, I really wanted that one, and then I just saw the.
Yeah, I still have it. You know, and I still like it. I still use it occasionally. You know. Gary says he's getting the tablet before he gets the Pixel Fold. Yeah, I probably would go along with that. Brian gets 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, 14 hours off the charger. So he's like the opposite of you, Ted.
5 to 6 hours. That's average.
Yeah, but 14 hours off the charger.
Screen on time. So 5 to 6 hours of screen on time.
No, yeah, I'd say that's average nowadays. Yeah. Yeah, Gary says Microsoft needs to run Windows. I kind of agree. I'm thinking that would be better. But remember, they wrote it system just for that phone. So, oh, correction, it wasn't 14 hours. 4 hours, 7 minutes, and 29% left. That's okay. That's more like it.
4 hours off the charger. Oh my god.
No, 4 hours and 7. I'm thinking he means screen on time.
Screen on time.
And then 29% left. Okay, that sounds kind of average, or maybe a little bit better than average. Not much.
Yeah, that's average. That might even just be under average, below
Okay.
average.
Okay, yes, it sounds average. So it sounds
iPhone
okay to
users
me.
never
I
talk
wouldn't be complaining about that.
iPhone people never talk about that.
I mean, listen, I'll be happy. You know, it's a smaller phone. I'll be okay with average, but yeah, I'm getting below average. So
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, but it seems to me like you use it way more than most people. That's my guess.
Ted is like watching videos nonstop.
Yeah,
and the phone I had, the phone that I traded in for it, the iPhone 11, performed way better. That was way above average in terms of
yeah.
battery life.
The iPhone 11 did perform very,
Yeah,
very
it
well.
was on par with the V60. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the part that's
Yeah, I wish I hadn't traded the iPhone 11 because I love that phone completely, thoroughly love that phone. You know.
and Google makes a big deal about how their SoC is able to use the machine learning to
Yeah, right.
tailor the battery
Yeah,
experience.
machine learning ought to be able to get the battery up better than that. Then
Listen,
You're
that's
gonna brag
the,
about it,
that's
have
the
to do
number one. That's the number one thing Android people say. My phone has to learn my usage. It doesn't change. The battery still dies the same. It's got to learn my usage.
Some
No, it
people
don't.
actually claim they can see the difference after
They
about
just lie.
a few
Nah.
weeks.
That thing is just a
I've
button
never
that turns
I've
on,
noticed
and
that
there's
some
just a
people
little.
claim they can. You know.
There's just a little animation that comes on that shows you acts like it's doing something. That thing doesn't. I've had so
Gary
many
says
Android
iPhone
phones, and I'm
people
waiting
don't
for
know
it to
their
learn.
SOT because they can't see beyond the cracks in their screen. That's the
You know why?
That's the people that don't take care of their phones.
iPhone people don't know about it because it's not something they don't show you in your phone. Well, they didn't used to. They didn't used to show you in your settings. On Android,
Right.
it's like the phone thinks it's a laptop, so it's got to show you every single thing inside what's killing your battery because it's doing 50,000 things. Android phones have ADD. They got you got to be able to do 8,000
In
things.
defense
in
of
the
Gary,
background.
I have to say, most of the young people that I know that use iPhones, they always have a cracked screen. That is true. You know. But I can't
Because they
blame
don't-
the iPhone for that. I blame them for that. You know.
It's because they don't. I don't know why they don't have cases.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But even the ones I know with cases, they always have a cracked screen anyway.
That's scary. Oh,
Yeah.
forgot. I gotta put on this screen protector on my Pixel 7. It's still on the corner right there.
You
You were
put it
saying
on.
your screen is all scratched up, right, Ted?
Yeah, it's
you
got
saying
like-
you were getting tiny scratches, right?
Yeah.
It's awful.
I mean, it's part of the course. Like I use it. Like I dock it on my bicycle, so it's normal. Like
Okay. See, I never get scratches on any of my screens, almost never.
you
But
don't
I-
use glass screen protectors.
No, I haven't used a screen protector in 5 years at least.
Yeah, I don't know how long
George
I'm
lives
going to
on the
keep this
edge.
phone. Yeah.
No, I'm kind of fanatical. I guess I'm the same way with phones that I used to be with phonograph records. I'm kind of fanatical about taking care of them. Like,
Yeah, but can you imagine?
the only reason I started
even
buying
think
pants
about it.
with the only reason I started buying pants with 6 to 8 pockets, and all my pants have 6 to 8 pockets, is just so I never had to put a phone in a pocket with anything else. And I never, ever, ever put a phone in a pocket with anything. Ever.
That is the rule. That is the rule.
So that's why I
You
don't
got
need
like
screen protector.
3,000 phones.
You know, when somebody says to me they put keys in their pocket or change in their pocket, that drives me crazy. I couldn't even think of myself doing that. I couldn't imagine myself doing that. That's like taking nails and putting them on a chalkboard to me and scraping them down. Okay. So how long you had the screen protector that you're not using?
The week. Yeah,
So what are you waiting for?
you got to shoot the unboxing video.
Oh, okay.
Need that content.
Yeah, and this is what everybody says. Whitestone Dome is the best. Yeah, and I gather they're expensive too.
They're the best. They were the best for curved displays. When it's
Okay.
a flat display, I think it's a level playing field when
Okay.
it's a flat display.
Yeah, I remember
Before-
when Whitestone Dome came out, they were the only ones that seemed to do a good job with curved displays.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that glue, they were $50.
Yeah, they were like $50. I remember that because
Man.
Jay Will was the first one I saw get him. He swore by them.
Yeah, I had a couple of them.
Right. Glad I don't use them.
Nah, those
All
things
right,
are
I
clutch.
got one story left. Shall we go over it?
Yeah,
So-
let's go.
Yeah.
It's on MacBooks. Ted, you want it? Ted, you want to
With
read
the
it?
keyboard thing still?
No, the MacBooks. MacBooks.
Yeah, they have a
Yeah.
keyboard. There's a keyboard issue again where there's
Touch screen. We're talking touch screen here.
Apple's coming into 2022.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. Okay. All right, I've got it up. This was on Engadget. Everybody had this story. Ted, you want to read it?
Yeah,
you okay
I
with
got
it?
it. Yep.
Okay. I'm
All
going
right.
to put it into reader view. Go ahead.
Ooh, let's see. Apple is reportedly working on a touchscreen MacBook Pro. Let's see. For a company that has, this is by Will
Google waking
Shanklin.
up at 5:30
Yeah.
a.m.
So for a company that's made a point of saying that touch is better on a product like the iPad, a touchscreen MacBook Pro would be a big change, but don't expect a wild departure from traditional Apple laptop design. In that case, then it's done. The alleged touchscreen MacBook Pro would likely still run Mac OS and it still include a standard trackpad and keyboard. Duh, why wouldn't it? But similar to Windows laptops and two-in-ones, it will incorporate display taps and gestures. Something about that sentence doesn't rub me right. The report says Apple may expand the touch input to include other Mac models over time, but is currently planning on combining Mac OS and iPad OS. One can surmise the fear of cannibalizing iPad sales has been a factor in holding out this long. Additionally, the report reiterates that Apple is shifting its Mac displays to OLED. Hey, I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
As part of a broader MacBook Pro overhaul. Current MacBooks have LCDs, while iPhones, except for the SE and Apple Watches, use OLED displays.
Yep.
Apple launched the Touch Bar in 2016 as a half measure towards full touchscreen capabilities on MacBooks. They're kind of overusing the word half measure there.
Yeah.
The strip above the keyboard included system in-app shortcuts, spelling suggestions, and other touch-friendly inputs, but it was never embraced by developers or Apple's most loyal customers, and it was removed from the Apple's 2021 MacBook Pro redesign. Although much has been said of Steve Jobs' insistence that touchscreens don't belong on Macs, how would he have known? Were Windows putting touch? I guess maybe they were. Yeah, they were. This wouldn't be the first time the company has evolved in ways that go against the gospel of Steve. For example, he mocks big phones, small tablets, and iPad styluses. Today, Apple will happily sell you an iPhone 14 Pro Max, an iPad mini, and Apple Pencil. Although Jobs' vision is very much instilled in the company's DNA, and the computing world has changed slightly since 2011.
That's true. Yeah, it has changed.
I will
But
say,
I think Will may be right. I think they're just doing this trying to come into 2023. That's my impression.
all I will say is, if Apple is going to make the MacBook Pro touchscreen and it's not the type of convertible where, it will flip on, around itself.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't want
it says it might flip. I thought it said it might flip. Oh no, that was the other.
Like it needs to do this.
Yeah, for through 360, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
If it don't do
Apple's
that-
too late.
I don't want it.
I think they're too late. Like Mac OS, I don't know. It's not even touchscreen friendly to me. I
Well,
don't know.
maybe that's what they're going to try to get
Oh
it to
God,
be.
please no, because look at
Of
iPad.
course, it's not touchscreen because touchscreen doesn't exist. Will, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's not touchscreen friendly.
Listen, no, listen to me. The overhaul that they'll have to make on Mac OS to me is going to be too much for them to. Yeah, no.
I don't think it's too much. I think they've already been on that wave. Look at macOS. Did you see who's done the macOS Ventura update?
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice they changed the system preferences app to look exactly like it does on the iPad OS.
I read that somewhere too. Don't
Yeah,
remember
we'll
where.
see. We'll see. I'm
And
not buying.
then they have the control center on the top right, just like they have it on iPad OS. Like they're slowly making it more Mac OS, more iPad like.
And they've been trying to do that for a while. So people are saying, but they don't
So-
want to mix the two ecosystems. Ted, Gary's got a message just to you. You see it?
$70 mouse.
I don't
A
think
mouse
I paid
case is
$60
$70,
for a
so you don't need a screen protector, I think. Look at Gary comment about the Pixel Book. Oh, the Go was the Pixel Book Go a clamshell, convertible clamshell that folded?
I don't think
Yeah.
it
I
opened
don't
all the way.
remember.
It was just a laptop clamshell.
I think.
What's Gary's
That
comment
was my
say?
impression too, but I don't remember that well. No.
Gary, did the Pixel Book Go do the thing where it folded
Did
in?
it fold all
I did
the
a
way
circle.
one? Yeah,
Like,
did it
did it
fold
do- did it
180?
do that? Did it? Whew. Let us know, Gary. We don't care about this.
clamshell.
You do this. Clam. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Gary, no big deal. That was no big deal. It was cool when the first Chromebook Pixel did it back then, but now it's you gotta have, yeah. Things have evolved since then. Surface has
He said
taken
no to 180. Okay.
Surface has taken touchscreen laptops too far to just not have a touchscreen laptop that doesn't do that.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Kind of agree with that.
So yeah, but yeah, I think it's probably true that touchscreen is
Oh.
probably going to come to the MacBook Pro, but because
I-
we're already
and I-
seeing the interface.
And I got to tell you, the biggest thing that's pretty good, that semi-excited me from CES this year, the AR glasses, especially the TCL AR glasses.
I didn't see that. Oh.
Oh yeah, they were like 2 or 3 companies making AR glasses for CES, and TCL's are supposed to be coming out soon. And if they're not over $1,000, I could see myself getting them.
Actually, I do remember something about that being said now.
Yeah, I think we're about to come into the time of AR glasses for real. So let's hope somebody makes them decent and affordable at the same time. Brian, thank you as always, brother. Very much appreciated.
You think Apple's
Gary
going to
says-
use
Gary said ThinkPad does the 180.
Lenovo? I think was Lenovo the one that brought the laptop that has the 2 displays on the top and the bottom?
Yes. Oh yeah. Wasn't that incredible? That's $2,100. That's $2,100, but that impressed the heck out of me.
Sure did.
Yeah.
I like the look of it.
Yeah, I just don't have $2,100 to give him for it. But that thing turned me on big time. I had that in my stories last week. But if I were going to buy something and try to save up money or something for anything from CES, it would be probably TCL's AR glasses. They just fascinated the heck out of me. And and did you see Juan's comparison with the 3 brands of AR glasses yesterday or day before?
See, that's where you were confusing me about TCL's AR. They're not AR glasses. They're smart.
Yes,
they're displays.
They're augmented reality glasses. You can see things while you're seeing through them. That's augmented reality.
you're seeing a display. It's not.
You're seeing displays come up in the glasses while you're actually looking through the glasses, though. You're looking at
That's
the
not
screen.
AR, but that's not AR. That's just the displays in front of your glasses.
It's augmented reality.
But it's not
I-
augmenting. It's not augmenting your reality. It's just giving you a display in your eyeglasses.
Well, yeah. Well, then what is augmented reality?
Augmented reality is when the augmentation actually interacts with your reality.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like the game did. What was the game that we all played?
Pokemon Go?
Pokemon Go. Yeah.
No.
Well,
No.
they did. Did you interact with the glasses?
Isn't augmented reality like if you have the glasses on and you look at something on the side of the road and it'll show you like something that's supposed to be there? Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Like,
some
you know,
degree, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's probably. But anyway, I'm fascinated.
it's like
by it.
it's like Google Maps. Like whenever you use Google Maps
Yeah,
and you use
yeah.
it in the AR mode, it'll show you like a fox that'll guide you, or it'll show you like a giant arrow in the middle of the street to point you where you go. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
yeah, that's one example of augmented reality.
Anyway,
Or like
did you see Juan's video with the three
Yeah.
different kinds? Okay.
Yeah, where
I
you
thought-
compared
I
the
thought
three
you
of
did
them.
A really nice job there. You know.
that I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that's what it's like $500. It's not bad.
Well, he didn't. I don't think the TCL. They didn't say what the price of the TCL is yet.
But I thought they were pretty much going to be around the $500 ballpark.
If they're
Maybe
around
one
the
of them was going to be
$500
400.
ballpark, I'll probably get them. But I was thinking more like $1,000. If they're 500, I'm down with that. You know. Will, you're not into any of that?
No.
Okay, just
Maybe I'll get what's that Oculus? I like that.
no Oculus. Okay, yeah, Oculus Rift kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Who saw was Painfully Honest Tech? Jason's. He put out a tweet comparing the prices of the iPad Pro, the 12, the was it 13 inch or 12 inches?
Isn't it 12.9? I thought.
Yeah, the 12.9 inch, 256 gigs.
Right.
Apparently, that costs more money than a similarly spec'd MacBook Air.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if a MacBook Air does have touch, well, no, it's gonna be probably the MacBook Pro series. So it's not gonna. I don't think it'll cannibalize an iPad Pro.
Okay.
But I will say though, that tweet alone put me off because I was thinking about upgrading this iPad, and I'm just thinking, maybe I don't. I get a MacBook Air instead.
Okay.
MacBook Air is the better.
I think so too. Brian said he just dropped $800 on what? And he said Will is in the VR and AR 15s.
I would say it is easier to screen record on an iPad though than it is a Mac.
He said flywheel trainer, so none of this tech for me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you want to have a tablet, the iPad Pro is not like compared to the what's the name. It's not a good buy.
Not
Compared to
what?
a MacBook Air.
When you compare like a MacBook Air to an iPad Pro, there's like I don't know. I don't see how you could choose the iPad unless you just
Well, the Air is a true laptop. That's the difference.
Yeah, because even
But
if you
it's
want the keyboard, what's the keyboard for the thing? $300, and if you want a cheaper one,
Oh
$150.
yeah, that was the thing.
It's-
Yeah, with the tweet, it was the MacBook, the iPad Pro's keyboard with the iPad.
Keyboard, yeah. I love my Magic Keyboard though.
It costs more than the MacBook
Oh, you
Air.
bought one, George?
I bought it when I got my iPad Pro in 2020.
Wow.
Oh wow! Look at this. Good news, guys. Whoever has a Stadia. Next week we'll be releasing a self-serve tool to enable Bluetooth connections on your Stadia controller. This is so disrespectful, but it's also good news. Wow.
So wait, what are you gonna use it?
The Stadia controller, they're gonna give Bluetooth support to it, and
What are you
Stadia's
gonna
gonna
use it for?
I was gonna say, who has Stadia?
for your computer.
Stadia's on its way out, isn't it?
Yeah, you can use it for your computer. You can use it for your phone. Wirelessly this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess you can use it for your computer.
Stadia is gonna close in 5 days.
Oh, it is 5. Okay. I figured it
5
was
days.
closed. Anyway, we've got the usual. We're down to our usual glowing rectangles. Ted, you want to talk about it?
Sure. Who's in
Wait,
the
let
thing?
me, I'm getting it up on screen.
I'm so out of practice.
Yeah, we need to keep you in practice. All right, there it is on screen. Whenever you're ready, you go for it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired or you just don't like the idea of some algorithm deciding what tech stories come on your feed? Well, hop on over to reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles. And there you will find a community of like-minded individuals who love tech, such as yourself, share stories that they resonated or hit with them. Also, if you're a creator, we don't discourage you from self-promoting. Share your tech story on, again, reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles. And let's see, if we look at the top stories of the day, the top stories, George.
I got him. Okay.
What is this?
Nextdoc Wireless.
For the top of the story is the subreddit's creator, some gadget guy, where he's talking about a Nextdoc Wireless. It's one of those portable display thingies. Second story is where actually I just got the news about Stadia.
Yes,
their Google Stadia is finally, after how many years, bringing Bluetooth support to their controllers after so many years, just before the service is going to close down. Gary was also saying in the comments he still has his Google Stadia, and he also got his refund. How much money did you get back? I got my refund too. I know I've been wanting to play Red Dead, Redemption on it while I still can. So I got 5. I hope 5 days is enough.
Say you got 5 days left, don't you?
Yeah, hopefully that's enough to be. Apparently, it's a long game too.
Okay.
And but good news! If you bought Assassin's Creed on Stadia, Ubisoft said they will match that purchase on their own servers. So you'll have Assassin's Creed on Ubisoft. You just have to go and make your Ubisoft account quickly.
That's good.
Yep. And then third
this is
story,
the iPad story you were talking about.
Yeah, he apparently made a YouTube video about it too, not just a tweet, where he talks about the iPad needing to go away. It needs to go away. It doesn't make financial sense if you buy the Magic Keyboard, which, as far as keyboards go, is a freaking ridiculous price.
I love my Magic Keyboard. I don't know. I just like it.
For your keyboard, the cost of your Magic Keyboard, George, you could have gotten Will another iPad. One of Will's kids an iPad.
Well, that's true. I know that's true. I probably could have gotten two of the cheap ones.
And then you have Shane Craig. Yeah, this must be a hard time for him. This sad news about the Pixel.
Oh yeah, because he loves his Duos. Okay, so anyway, what Ted hasn't told you is that you want to promote yourself or anybody else's video and or blog. You can put it here any day you want. They'll get more exposure, right, Ted?
Yep. Oh, look at Brian's tweet. Stop killing projects, Google. What's the next project that I feel like Google hasn't killed something in a while since Stadia?
Well, Stadia, yeah.
Didn't they just kill their laptops?
The Pixelbook Go? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Pixelbooks. They were supposed to come out with a new one, and they just killed it. Now they're doing the tablet.
True. They did do that. All right, I'm getting rid of the screen. So
Yep. So yeah, that marks. Okay, so that's good. Because I figured, if they haven't killed something since Stadia, they're probably going to get antsy. But yeah,
yeah,
they
it's
now,
like you expect Google to kill something at least every few months. You know, it's
yep.
what they do. You know,
I'm still
it's just
sore about Inbox.
yeah.
Oh my God, that
Mike
was the
was
best
hurt.
app.
Mike was hurt like crazy when they killed Inbox. I remember that.
That was the best. That was the best email.
Yeah.
The one that hurt me was Google Plus. I loved Google Plus. Mike too. I remember that.
Yeah, Google Plus. I met Mike on Google.
And the thing about Inbox was that
I
they
think
said
I
that,
met you both on Google Plus, didn't I?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. What is Braun?
LeBron, George.
Oh, LeBron. Oh, NBA 2K. Okay. I've gotten so out of LeBron. I've gotten so I can hardly stand the guy.
What is Mike's thing saying? T-Mobile's shutting down stores. What happened?
Yeah, but see, in Mike's video in his Cogwell today, he's saying because they promised when they did the merge that they wouldn't do this and it would be at least 3 years. I just think nobody expected this bad economy worldwide, and they're doing the same thing that everybody else does. I don't think it has anything to do with the merger.
That economy, we just have a little inflation going. What's so bad
A
about it?
little inflation. United States, Canada, Australia, Germany, and Britain are all in a recession or a depression. There's a lot of argument about which one are in, but all five of them, these are the five biggest economies on earth, and they all went to the same thing at the same time. And they're all going to say this was not on purpose. Yeah, right.
Unemployment, it's at a low though. Wages are down. But
Yeah,
employment as well.
and companies can't hire enough employees because enough employees don't want to work for them. That's never happened in history before until last year.
It could be though that wages are down because people need to work two jobs. They
I
need
don't
more
need
than
to
one
work two
job.
jobs. I'm doing just fine.
You're a
Yeah,
retiree, Georgie.
everybody's telling me how tough things are. Things are not tough on me. Why aren't things tough on me? I'm not doing anything special. I don't make no huge amount of money. I don't understand why everybody's saying how tough things are. You don't seem to be having things so tough, as far as I can see.
Wait, so what were you talking about?
I was just talking about how the economy, how I think T-Mobile is cutting jobs because everybody else in the tech world is cutting jobs. I don't think it has anything to do with the merger, and I don't think they expected this. I don't think
Wait, no,
anybody.
the merger, but they promised the merger that jobs wouldn't
They
be cut.
promised something based on the future they couldn't possibly know. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. When you promise something in a normal sense, yeah, I expect you to keep that promise. But if something happens to the economy in places all over the world and everybody starts laying off people and you're going to be the only one who doesn't, that makes no sense to me. I don't expect you to keep that promise then, not under those circumstances. Just my opinion.
But they did all right though during the pandemic, right?
Yes, and it seems like, keep in mind, everybody started laying off after the pandemic stopped.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
That's the weird part of this. I mean, keep in mind, Amazon made more money during the pandemic than at any time in their entire history.
Yeah, the pandemic was good for the the internet fan
Yeah,
companies.
it was good for internet. It was good for Walmart.
But
In
yeah,
any case, I don't blame T-Mobile any more than
I'm
blame
just saying
everybody.
T-Mobile as a utility company, like I don't see why they would be affected particularly hard by this. Maybe they hire too many people to start with.
That probably has a lot to do with it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think maybe they all hired too many people a couple of years ago. Don't you think?
Oh,
That's
did
my
they?
impression.
I don't even know why T-Mobile. Maybe they didn't. I don't know about T-Mobile. Because as far as when the Sprint merger happened, they got all those employees. So
Yeah, and I think they had too many employees. Anyway,
don't know.
Mike blames them. I don't. We just look at things differently, So
I don't know. I think something is fishy. It's like
something is fishy, but what's fishy is what all five of these economies in the world are doing at the same exact moment. How come all 5 of them started printing money like crazy? And by the way, when they're printing money, what's it based on? Oh, there is no gold standard. So when you print money, you're basing it on nothing. Money doesn't grow on trees, but you can print it out of nowhere. And that's what every single country did at the same exact time. And we're still doing it. And we're supposed to believe this is all coincidental, that all 5 of the biggest economies in the world did the exact same thing and at the same time, and now they're all suffering at the same time. I don't buy that as coincidence. That's got to be planned on purpose.
What was it? It's funny to me, like in the sense that of who was that? I don't know. Some grocery store, it was either Walmart or Walgreens. They were complaining that they had to do store closures, and they were blaming it on shoplifting.
Well, that's true in California. That's true in San Francisco, but that's not true everywhere.
Yeah, but when they actually looked at the loss reports, it came out that shoplifting wasn't anything out of the norm.
Oh,
so
that's bad. I didn't hear because keep in mind, California has changed the law where if you walk in and shoplift anything under $1,000, nobody's going to prosecute you. That's a different change than 2 years ago. And now you walked into Walgreens or Walmart and steal $900 worth of stuff. You're free to go.
I don't think that's. What do you mean you're free to go?
That is the law in California and has been the law in California since early last year. If you shoplift anything below $900, they are not going to prosecute you. They
Hold up.
In the law.
Hey, Google.
The California legislature.
Is it true that if you steal anything under $1,000, you will not be prosecuted?
They made a law they can't prosecute you in California.
This thing put the response in the bedroom speaker. What good does that do me?
Don't you love that? I hate when it does that.
Is it true that if you shoplift anything under $1,000, the state of California will not prosecute you? Let's see. Review of PC 459.5 shoplifting laws. Shoplifting is stealing items valued at under $950 and is a misdemeanor crime. So already it's a misdemeanor charge.
Going to prosecute you.
And it's punishable by. What do you mean? You can be charged.
And let go the next day. What they've been doing for over a year now is you get charged and you let go the next day, and nothing goes on your record. Nothing goes on your record.
Well, if that's the actual practice, I don't know about that then.
So, but I did not know about that report. You said they found that it wasn't nothing. I don't see how it cannot be out of the ordinary when they changed the law that you can get away with.
And the other fishy business too, when earlier the price of chicken wings went up because apparently there was a chicken wings shortage. But
just a wing shortage?
Yeah, like Buffalo Wings, like places like Wingstop were complaining, like, oh my god, like they were talking about using other parts of the chicken like breasts, but the rest of the parts of the chicken was fine. Like KFC wasn't complaining about getting chicken, or grocery stores were still getting eggs, but it was just the chicken wings that everyone was making noise about. Restaurateurs were making.
Explain that.
That's again fishy. Something is going up, like I said.
That's very, very fishy.
And now now there's a legit. Yeah, and now there's a legitimate thing going on, like where this bird flu is killing chickens. So now no one's getting no one's getting eggs
or whole chicken, but not pieces of a chicken. That's the weird part.
It was it 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago or last year. Yeah, people were complaining. Restaurants were complaining that it was the cost of chicken wings had gone up.
Weird.
But the rest of the chickens were fine.
Garrett said KFC is selling penguins. Okay. Well, hopefully not in New Orleans. Oh, I was thinking the Pelicans, wasn't it? Yeah, I had the wrong team. Sorry.
NFL playoff wing tax.
Wing tax. Okay. I'm kind of excited for the playoffs this year.
I am excited for The Last of Us show to premiere this Sunday. Excited.
Whose show?
It's this show, The Last of Us, that's based off this video
Oh,
game.
The Last of Us. Okay, I've
that
heard
show
of it.
is
I've never
gonna.
seen
That
it.
show's
Okay.
starting.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
the show?
The Sunday.
Oh, Ted, you watch Prime. Have you seen The Peripheral?
No.
Oh,
Last yeah.
great show. Great show. Season 1 is out there. I think there's 8 episodes. If you get a chance to watch The Peripheral, I would highly, highly recommend it on Amazon.
All right, I'll check it out.
What's the what's it
Brian
about,
said,
George?
Brian, I think I'm going for Cincinnati. For me, I know I was going for Philly all year, but right now, if I had to pick, it would be Buffalo or Cincinnati. That's who I think is going to win. A lot of people are picking Frisco, but I'm thinking Buffalo or Cincinnati. Yeah, Brian likes Peripheral too, the show I was telling you about.
All right, I'll check it. I saw what was it last night? This movie called Wrath of Man with Jason Statham. That was actually good. I was holding off.
I like him. Yeah, I canceled Disney Plus 8 or 9 months ago, a while ago.
I need to find a way to screen record a DRM like show, like so I can make memes. Does anyone have a clue on how to do that?
I have no clue.
Because like if you try to screen record or even just screenshot on Netflix, like it goes black. Like you just took a picture of a screenshot of a black screen.
Okay.
Spooky.
The Demolins picking San Francisco. Brian says Eagles are hard to beat. Yeah, and I for me it's Cincinnati or Buffalo. I just find Joe Burrow a hard man to beat. Now, of course, since we're all saying this, it's probably going to be Kansas City, but we'll see. All right, are we done?
Yeah, I think we are.
Will, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, George.
All right, I'm sorry. Did we put you to sleep? I'm sorry. Are you an Eagles fan like Mike, or you don't care?
I don't really care.
Okay, just one. Yeah, I never heard you talk about it much. All right, folks. So we had a great show tonight, thanks to Will and Ted, and we had good discussion. Sorry. Yeah, see, I've always been a Raider. I've been a Raider fan since 1980. So, but I'm kind of used to losing, so it's no big deal for me anymore. All right, folks. Thanks for being with us. Thanks to Ted. Thanks to Will. Hopefully, we'll get Mike back soon. And I hope everybody has a very, very blessed weekend. And as I tend to say in most of my videos, keep in mind we all do better when we love each other. So have a great weekend, folks, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Good night.
You too. Good night.
All right.
Ending.